Hey guys, Discipline Magic here, and I hate to say this, but it's still to this day not perfectly clear what rotates out when. As far as I can gather from rumor and hearsay, because God forbid Wizards make one central website where we could see a calendar of this, the first Return to Ravnica set, I forgot what it's called already, I don't know, Alliances or some dumb thing. When the one after M19 drops, it will simultaneously drop out Kaladesh, Aether Revolt, thank God I hate them, and Amonkhet and Hour, which is a shame. I kind of like those. But the Scarab God, yeah, take your whole set, your whole block, your whole plane, and just go straight to hell with it. Getting rid of that mistake of a card is more than worthwhile getting rid of the entire block. So anyway, the point of this is when everything rotates out, less cards in the pool, weaker decks, slower decks, cards that looked pretty good but never really found a home in a deck and are sitting at like 99 cents, they can shoot up to 10 bucks in a hurry. So I'm going to help you guys try to predict which ones they are. And this isn't just like the penny stocks edition where it's like, okay, they're all 25% or 25 cent bulk and you can pick them up, you know, $12.50 for 50 copies. And, you know, that you'll be a millionaire. You get $5 a piece. That's $250. Woo! I mean, not only am I not guaranteeing that, and most of these cards are above $1, I just think they have room to double or more. Don't be that guy. This is not an MTG finance video, even though it vaguely resembles one, I guess you would say. I hate that community. They're a bunch of toxic day trader wannabes who have very high opinions of themselves, and they just do stuff where if it was stocks, they would be arrested, pumping up scams, lies, paying people to lie about stuff, insider information, you know, group collective price pushes, aka buyouts. They're the worst people in the community, if you even want to use the phrase in the community. I don't even consider them part of that. So if that's you, do me a favor, get the hell off this video. I don't want to help you in any way, shape, or form, you disgusting parasite. So who is this video for with these clear investment tips in predicting the future? Okay, you got 4 of this card sitting in your trade binder, take it out, don't trade it. Just sit on it. It might go up. Real simple. I think I'm right. You want to trade your friends for like 7, 8, 9 copies of this because you think, yeah, it might go up. I think you're right. You know, or just, hey, it might go up and I might need it on top of it. So if I want it for a deck, I want to pay $2 now, not $8 later. Like, I'm trying to save you guys money, not say, oh, you become the next, you know, rich investment person. So just don't go out and buy 50 copies of anything in this video. I mean, even I rarely do something like that. There are a couple in this video I picked up, I think 16 of. But like, I can't afford to lose on this, and I'm only like, on some of these, like 20% confident. But on the best of the best, I'm only 75% confident that they're going to spike in price. Out of all the investments that I've made, we're talking 16 or more copies that I purposely bought up. I've only been wrong twice. And that's in 4 years. And remember, I sell singles for a living. So do not also disregard information as a complete write-off and me being completely nuts. And I will state the probability and why I think these cards will go up and why they won't. So first up, let's start with a good one. Jase, Cunning, Castaway, okay? $3.50 on eBay for a single. For a pack of 4, I don't even know. It's probably like 12. It's probably less. I mean, he's practically nothing. Now, like I said, you're going to buy up 100 copies of this, it's $300. That's crazy. You know, it's better than like if you spent $25 on 100 copies of a 25-cent card. That said, when Planeswalkers take off, I mean, look at Karn, look at Teferi, look at the old price for Liliana, not the new one. It'll make you sad. And so what makes a good usable Planeswalker? Well, 1, make it not cost 6. I mean, that's obvious. If it costs 6, what the hell could that possibly go in? You almost have to ramp up to that. So what's the polar opposite of it? Make it cost 3. 3 cost Nissa, X Nissa, all very, very, very popular. They all broke 10 at some point, and a lot of them broke it by a lot. So Jase, Cunning, Castaway actually used to be high, and that's the other thing. You can use the past prices to say, okay, somebody at some point during a pre-order, pre-release, whatever, thought that this card was worth putting at that price. It may return again. In fact, if it was in a deck before, oh my God, like it might come back around again. You know, the carousel's coming around every time 4 sets get, well, I was going to say banned. That's obviously not the right terminology. Cycle out, I guess you would say. That'd be funny. We're announcing we're banning the entire set, Aether Revolt, the whole set. I mean, it's really just cycling up, but we hate it so much we're banning it. Anyway, what else helps a Planeswalker? Not being 2 colors. Boom, you got that going for him. What hurts it? Having a double color, and the lower the cost, the worse. I mean, if this was double blue and he costs 5, I mean, you're probably going to accidentally pay 2 blue. Who cares? Not even a restriction. In this one, good luck playing him in 3 color and still being able to reliably generate 2 blues. So obviously very basic. I'm just explaining this for people who are like new to this. So let's just burn through these cards. All right. That's the intro. That's the establishing information. Turn 3 planeswalkers are devastating. I love them, and this guy gets out of control real damn quick. So +1, whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, draw a card, then discard one. So it gets you nothing, it nets you nothing. It just lets you grab cards you need and get rid of cards you don't. Well, what decks need to do that? Combo decks. High synergy, very narrow decks. Like, I need this on the field and I need that on the field, and that's how that's going to work. The problem is those decks don't tend to run massive amounts of creatures, and to get this to work, you need massive amounts of creatures. But if you just threw in 12 flyers or something, there you go. I mean, you just threw in, I'd say, Aerial Responder, but this is in Pretend Land after the cycle. But you just have a little unblockable. You just build the whole deck around Jase and hitting and whatever. I mean, you can even do a Swarm deck, and that is the combo, and then you just need, like, some, Congregate or something. And, like, that's your combo. Okay, this will help you do it. So combo enablers that come out early, they cost 3, they're planeswalkers, and he's going to take the pressure off your life total. This is the perfect card for combo enabling. And then -2, I'm just going to go to the -5 first because it'll make more sense. Create 2 tokens that are exact copies of Jase, except they're not legendary. So they come out, they have 3 loyalty, and you can immediately use both of their abilities. Then you have 3 Jases. And then eventually, if they all ult, a couple turns later, you're going to have like 6 Jases maybe, or 5, or just depending upon what you used and how. Well, they all have the -2, create a 2/2 blue illusion. Whenever it's targeted, sack it. Great. Well, if there's 5, good luck targeting all of them. So that's actually the backup win condition. He's a self-contained combo. He combos with himself. That, and okay, they fatal push your only bodyguard right after you bring him out. Cool. Bring out a 2/2. Now you can block, backup plan, then start +1ing him. I mean, so he himself can get nuts. He can single-handedly win the game just by swarming illusions. It's a distant, like, turn 20 thing, but it is what it is. But the combo enabling and the 3 cost, that's huge. I could see him being 10+ easy. So if you have any copies, keep them. And if anybody's trading them away because people are just like, oh, worthless, useless, $3, blah, get it out of my binder, who cares? Feel free to get it out of their binder. Just saying. Next up, Watley. Now, she has like $6. This is like not the best pick. It's just if she hit $20, okay, cool. And she used to cost a lot more. She's a 4-cost mixed color and 3 loyalty. That's 100% across the board garbage. But is she really 3 loyalty? No, because you would immediately +1 her, and so she'll go to 4, and then the ability literally says, put a loyalty counter on Watley for each creature you control. Why would you even drop her out if the number wasn't at least 1? And honestly, it would probably be 3, 4, or 5 at that point. So basically, she enters the battlefield with like 10 loyalty. I mean, this would be in a Swarm deck. Shauna, she's on colors, Swarm. The green-white colors are Swarm colors in every set so far. Well, except for the ones that are cycling out. It's a shame we'll lose Oketra's Monument because that was like the best. But we'll lose Anointed, and that was just some broken crap. So I hate that card. That said, it sounds like, Swarm is getting powered down, right? And most people are playing 3-color Swarm. I think that just straight up green, white Swarm with maybe some kind of, well, obviously not like Thopters or anything, those are cycling out, but just some kind of maybe token drop. You never know what's going to be in the next couple sets. Or just cheap creatures, knights, flyers, whatever, just traditional white stuff, whatever. Throw a bunch of cheap crap on the battlefield and then Shauna and Watley. I mean, there you go. And then her -1 is target creature gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. Holy crap, and she can do that 3 times. If you just drop it out for 4 and just win the game, and then like the very next turn after you +1 her, you can almost always -8 her, and then you get an emblem with whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card, which that's just, you want to talk about Flood? I mean, that's Flood. So I think if Flood comes back, it'll be in these 2 colors, and if they are, this will be the star of the deck. You'll have to be running this. I could legitimately even see people running 4 of this because it just works. Now, that said, she is $6, so, good luck with that. And the next one, might as well get all the planeswalkers out of the way. Jaya Ballard, she's like $4, so I mean, whatever. She's a 5 cost, and she comes out with 5 loyalty, which isn't bad. Then you can +1 her, so it's really 6. She doesn't even have a negative, which is cool, because she's going to be really hard to kill. This one, it's real simple. I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time giving a ton of scenarios, because the video's getting long already, but I do want to give the why, instead of just, here, buy this, take my word for it. I don't think people would respond very well to that. But basically, her +1 is add 3 to your mana pool. Remember, to get her out, you had to have 5, so the next turn you have 8 mana available. Hello. Spend this mana only to cast instant or sorcery spells, okay? Have you seen the sheer volume of creatures, instants, and sorceries that are 3, 4, 5, and 6 in red that are just bonkers. They're just crazy. But everyone's like, oh, but isn't red the fast color? And then just writes them off, just ignores them completely. Yeah, don't do that. Red mid-range looks so good, I would almost build it right now. So as soon as everything gets powered down, a lot of the best 3, 4, 5 cost are in Dominaria and Rix and Ixalan. And this is like the perfect addition to like mid-range super burn with control options. You have the speed, you have the early game presence, maybe heavy first strike, maybe heavy haste, or you just try to get them down to like 14 and then you drop the mid-range on them. But there's like, Jaya's immolating whatever blast, inferno, whatever it's called. That's crazy, okay? That card is nuts. Plus you can do red-blue wizards and Jaya fits in perfectly. I mean, she probably trained half of them, literally half, the red half. At Carol Keep. It's literally a direct reference. Anyway, her +1 is discard up to 3 cards and then draw that many. You can go hand pick almost the cards you need. Get rid of the ones you don't that are no longer relevant. All the weak, piddly, early crap that costs 1 and 2, ditch it. All the powerful crap, go get it. And you're not negativing her. That's a word. And then her -8 is you get an emblem with you may cast instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard and then exile them. All the little burn cards, they're all coming back around again. Woo! Then after you alter, you immediately the next turn +1 for 3 mana and use it to spend it. I mean, it's just, the card writes itself. People just look at it and they're like, 5, that's too slow. Not for red, not all-in blitz, just red rush. Just traditional red rush with mid-game, mid-range, mid-speed options. I think that deck is going to be specifically very, very, very good after rotation. And if it is, this is going to go crazy. I actually have a foil of this that I'm sitting on, by the way. So next up, Shaper's Sanctuary. This card used to cost a lot more. I mean, not much to it. It's a 1-drop. You guys know the horrific 1-drops. They're famous. I mean, you've got Hardened Scales from back in the day. Shaper's Sanctuary I'm going to add to the list because why the hell not? And that one that makes, Authority of the Consuls or whatever, makes everything come in tapped and then they gain a life. Just, if they drop it turn 1, you're like, oh, it's going to be one of these kinds of games. Damn it. The horrific, oppressive, obnoxious, horrible 1 cost. Add this to the list. It's about $1.50 to $1.80. So, I mean, you can find large amounts on like Card Shark, TCG Player, whatever. And yeah. Real simple, whatever creature you control becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. What deck does not need recurring, free, no mana, no tap, it just happens, free card draw? Recurring free card draw that you don't have to pay for, you don't have to tap, you don't have to do anything, that can trigger more than 1 time in a turn is one of the most powerful, historically, effects in all of Magic. This costs 1, it's not legendary, and it effectively fetches another copy of itself because it will draw through your deck really quickly. I mean, this is huge. Plus, you can sideboard it out and just double down on whatever your deck does. Creature heavy, creature rush, trample, counters, whatever. You're just like, oh, they're not even running control. They're just trying to outspeed me. They're doing some gimmicky, stupid thing. They're never going to target my creatures. Cool, it goes right into the sideboard. Real easy sideboard decision. So this card is amazing. And I think the sheer card draw power and the fact that you could drop it into anything that uses creatures and doesn't like to get them blown up and likes a way around it, yes, run this. So because of that, I could easily see this going into multiple decks. I could see it hitting $5 or more. Doesn't mean it will, doesn't mean I'm guaranteeing it will. I'm just saying it might. So if you got some, hold on to them, and somebody wants to trade them away, feel free. Next up, I am pissed about this card. This is a $10 card right now, okay? Don't even wait for rotation. This is one of the most powerful cards in all of Dominaria. Black freaking Blade freaking Reforged. But days later, it's legendary. I can only have 1 in play. You only need 1. Shut the hell up. Shut your filthy whore mouth. This is basically the equipment version of a legendary sorcery, okay? It does next to nothing if you don't have a legendary creature out. But if you do, or if you can generate 7 mana, holy crap. And the thing is, equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land you control. You probably have about 7 lands if you can generate 7 mana the hard way. I mean, you're probably running like a land fetch all-in Explore deck. I would put this in any Explore deck, and I think Explore is one of the best decks right now, let alone after rotation. The fact that this is $1 makes me want to throw up in my mouth. I have won so many games with this. I won the pre-release with this. Why can't people get it through their thick freaking skulls that this is a good card? I think it's not even that people don't think it's good. It's that you have to be running a high amount of legendaries for this to do anything. That said, usually you'll do, okay, drop 2 mana or drop 2 lands, drop this out. Third turn, drop a third one, equip it. If you have a 1-cost legendary, like Ovaya, Hope of Girapur. Of course, that cycles out, but there's legendaries out there, guys. I mean, this is quick. Even if your legendary costs 2, so you're 1 turn behind on this, okay, cool. You have 3 to 4 lands out by the time this gets on. This is a +4/+4 equipment minimum in most cases, and it gets worse for free. You don't have to do anything else late game to make this worse. It gets worse and worse and worse for your opponent, more and more and more powerful, and it's a 2-cost that you equip for 3. There is nothing even remotely comparable to this. This thing crushes Godsend. And Godsend is arguably one of the absolute best equipment ever printed in the history of the game. Well, obviously, when you consider mana cost. I mean, Helm of the Host is wonderful too, but it's outrageously expensive. So if a lot of legendaries become popular, or there is a deck that runs legendaries and, uses lands, I guess, this blade will be in the deck. And if it isn't, the person built it wrong. It's really that simple. So this is going to go up. I'm not just saying maybe, this is going to go up, period, the end. I mean, what do you think, guys? Are there going to be enough legendaries? Well, there's only, 200 of them or 180 or whatever the hell crazy number they came up with for Dominaria? It's only the entire main mechanic of Dominaria, one of the only sets that will be left over. And it's so well because everything in it is freaking crazy powerful and works with everything else. I mean, dinosaurs work with dinosaurs, okay? Dominaria works with everything. Acquire as many copies of this sword as you possibly can. Now, if you think that 7's too high, it's even if you're running half legendaries, isn't that good, and then the legendary will just become a target and this will just sit there and do nothing. Then we're losing artifact fetch and artifact synergy with a lot of the Kaladesh crap going out. Well, okay, let's go to my next pick, and this is my number 1 pick. Nothing even comes close to this. I would put a 99% chance of this card going up. 4 Bears Blade instead of 4 Bearer. I never got that. Maybe that's why people won't buy it. They're just too confused. 35 cents. You can take your 35 cents and get the hell off my planet with it, because back in reality where I live, this card's worth $10 too. Let's see, what does it have going for it? It costs 3, which is reasonable. I mean, you ever seen a good equipment that costs 2? Black Blade. But besides that, good equipment doesn't typically cost 2. It typically costs 3, okay? So I'm over it. 3. Got it. Costs 3 to equip. After that, you never have to pay to equip it again within reasonable circumstances. Okay, the creature got exiled. Cool. Great. You probably have 3. Get over it and pay the 3. Other than that, it jumps from creature to creature automatically when equipped creature dies, okay? So it's colorless, so anybody can put it in any deck. So this literally goes in any deck that deals damage with creatures, plural. That's it. That's it. That's the deck it goes in. And want to know a secret? You want to know a secret, guys? I'm going to let you in on a secret. It's not legendary. It's free real estate. Yeah, you saw that coming. I'm not going to miss that opportunity. Why this is not the number 1 most played card in Standard right now, I don't even have an answer for you. It's beyond me. No idea. +3, Vigilance, Trample. Okay, it doesn't keep the creature alive. Oh, wait, when the creature dies, you just move this to the next creature over. So anything that summons a reasonable amount of creatures of any type, no restriction, no color restriction, no mana cost requirement, no minimum power requirement, no cumulative upkeep, just straight up, all your creatures are powerful as crap. And this jumps from one to the other, and if they're dumb enough to sideboard in artifact destruction just to get rid of this, your deck's probably just fine without it. This is not the backbone of a deck. It just takes any deck with creatures, any color, any type, and makes them better. Doesn't matter if they're flying, nothing. And then they gain Vigilance and Trample. You can use it on defense too. You equip this to a double striker, it's the end of the game. You equip this to a first striker, you get a perfect defender. Death Touch, same thing. Put this on a lifelinker, you are in Nirvana, okay? You have just achieved Nirvana. I don't remember if it's a state of being or a place, I just covered all the bases. This disgusting war crime of an overpowered monster super weapon dominated the pre-release. If you had this on the field, you basically couldn't lose. I own more copies of this card than I probably should, but for 35 cents, take a guess if I give a shit. I mean, just think about it. This is Black Blade without relying on legendaries, and with Black Blade, you still have to, swing. So if the creature doesn't have natural vigilance, what are you going to do on defense? So sometimes you just get stuck sitting there with a Blackblade creature. It's not good. Well, there's your Vigilance. I mean, if you think the creature will live, great. If you don't, great, swing anyway. It's +3 in trample. Who cares? This will just jump to something else. If you find yourself in a pretty good board state with like 3 pretty good creatures, and this is on one of them, you're just top decking garbage like lands, you can just pay 3 and move this around anyway, just to screw with people. Like, you swing with your lifelinker, and they're like, okay, whatever, I won't even chump it, I'll take 7. Fine, you gain 7. That's a 14-point life difference, people. And then you move this to your first striker so that they can't even swing. The next turn, you move it back. Oh, they use removal spell? Cool, move it for free. Oh, they used an exile spell like Settle the Wreckage? Cool. Just pay 3 and move it to something else. It's not like you have to pay 7 to equip it like Blackblade, like in the case of a giant backfire. Oh, by the way, any creature holding this is automatically 100% immune to Seal Away. Exile target tapped creature. 3 times on X-Mage, I was playing a game with Forebear's Blade, and somebody flashed it in when I had usually Gulta holding it, which what fresh hell is that? And then that was immediately followed by, oh crap, in the chat. Oh gee, you don't have a valid target, do ya? Ain't that a bitch? And in fact, put this on a creature with a tap ability. You can swing with it, and then after combat, tap it. And then pay 3 and move the damn thing. This is the perfect equipment. It really doesn't get any better than this. You know what? Screw what I said before. Buy every copy of this that you can find in the entire world. This card will go up, okay? If this card doesn't go up past 35 cents after rotation, then there is something deeply wrong with Magic the Gathering as a whole, the community and the deck building scene and everything. We will have officially left this reality and entered the Twilight Zone because that can't happen. So let's just burn through the last 2 because they're a lot simpler than this. Slaughter the Strong. It's a 3-cost board wipe. If you're not running creatures and they are, which, I mean, hello, Ixalan and Rix are going to be left over. People are going to be running creatures. Or if they're just running big creatures, they just drop out nothing but bombs or something, or stuff that gets bigger, stuff with counters. We don't know what the mechanics will be. This stops it. They have to sack down to a cumulative power of 4 non-sequentially. All at once. They have to select them, then sack them in one action. So passive boosters, they're gone. This is one of the best, most underappreciated cards right now. It's 49 cents because Fumigate. I mean, let's just be perfectly honest. When it gets down to, okay, crap, now how do I narrow down the field? There it is. And finally, let's jump right back to red mid-range. I still think it's going to be good. You know why? Because of this card, Captivating Crew. It's a whopping 25 cents right now. Wow. But you can pay 4 and do this multiple times if you have 8 mana, good for you. Gain control of target creature and opponent controls until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste. You know the drill. Activate this only anytime you would cast a sorcery. Well, duh, you don't want to do it in the middle of combat. That would be messed up. So this is just, what is that? I think Active Treason was the first card to do this or whatever. So this is Active Treason, but it's always in your hand as long as this is out there. I mean, yeah, it costs 4 instead of like 2 or 3 or whatever. But I mean, you just grab their biggest, creature, untap it whether they swung or not, or if it's sitting there on defense, well, now it's not. So they have -1 defender, and then you have +1 attacker. I mean, I don't need to explain why this is good to do every single turn. And then you can do all kinds of crazy crap to try and get it killed. You could sacrifice it. It's under your control until end of turn. The golden rule of Magic is you don't have to give it back if it's dead. It's not exactly how it works. You have to give it back to their graveyard, but still. So yes, Active Treason on a stick is pretty damn good, and this is a 4/3 by itself. I mean, even if they have no more targets left, cool, swing for 4. And they probably won't, because you got them all killed. So red mid-range are honestly just anything that needs combat superiority that runs red. Why not throw this in? I mean, it's 4. Okay, I almost wish it was 3. Then they kept the ability at 4 and maybe made him a 3/2. I think that would have been a better card, but still, this is just so good. So at 25 cents, I mean, maybe take $1 and pick up 4 of them at your LGS. I'm just saying. So that's it for cards that I think will go up. It's not exactly an exhaustive list, but this would have been literally an hour video and people wouldn't have watched it. But a lot of the other ones were long shots. Like, I think Entrancing Melody is amazing. It's just, I just think it's amazing. I don't have a very specific reason that I think it'll go up, and I think it's like over $1 right now. It can steal a token at any kind of synthetic pseudo zero cost for 2, and then it's yours forever. Cool. But that's true now, and it's not $5. So, I didn't put it in this video. But there's some other ones, just, basically take the 3 sets, go on the Gatherer, and hit search. Just hit Rare or Mythic, and you can take a look for yourself. Just remember, playability, casting cost, and how many different types of decks it'll go in. Those are the 3 things that matter when it comes to price. So hopefully this helps you out a lot, and if you really want, and especially if I'm extremely correct, I'll come revisit this in 6 months, and we'll see how I did. But I mean, I don't think any of these will go down. They're basically at their basement, just absolute bottom price right now. So if you absolutely had to, just trade them away, sell them back, or buy list them, and you lose next to nothing. That's why people are like, wow, this card just shot from $8 to $10. I better buy it. How much harder do you really think it's going to get? And do you even realize the level of risk there? Nah, you got to buy the low Bs. I mean, yeah, they're more long shotty, but I mean, look at some of these cards. They're damn good. So hopefully it makes you guys some money, and I will see you guys next video.